For many Formula One fans, the name of the sport itself is synonymous with one man, Michael Schumacher. During his 16-year career, Schumi racked up a number of F1 records, including 7 world titles, 91 wins, 68 poles, 154 podiums, and 1,369 points. He is remembered as the man who led a modest Benetton team to victory before attempting to resurrect the great Ferrari team, which had not won a title in over 20 years. And in this video, we will look at what Michael Schumacher thinks about Lewis Hamilton, why he believes Lewis Hamilton can break his record, and more. Trust me, you don't want to miss this. In an interview with BBC Sport, Schumi revealed that he believes that Lewis Hamilton can break his record of 7 world championships. Schumacher said, "I would say absolutely yes. Hamilton could win 7 titles one day." On the BBC's Inside Sports program, the 7-time world champion expressed his confidence in the Brit. Schumi said, "Nobody thought, even me, that I could beat Juan Manuel Fangio. Then I did. Records are there to be beaten." When it comes to losing his crown, the German knows it will happen one day and says it doesn't upset him. "I'm quite relaxed that one day it will happen, whether it's Lewis, whether it's Massa, or whoever. It might be someone of the current or of the future that could or will do it. But I've got no problem about it." Schumacher confessed his admiration for Hamilton in an interview with ITV, but he wouldn't answer whether he thought he was the best driver on the track. When you think about what he has done in such a short time, just arriving and competing with double world champion Fernando Alonso, and being very often quicker, that talks for itself. Is he the best? Is he not the best? Is he better than Felipe Massa or not? You look at the circumstances, it is not always very straightforward or clear to understand from the outside. Of course, this interview was long before Hamilton's dominance. Lewis was a 23-year-old newbie back then. He has come a long way since and won his 7th driver's title in 2020, equaling the record set by Schumacher in a season heavily impacted by the COVID-19 pandemic. Many considered Hamilton to be Schumacher's successor as the greatest of all time, having replaced him at Mercedes when the German retired in 2013. While Hamilton has now broken many of Schumacher's records, the fact that he grew up idolizing the iconic driver stays the same. After matching Schumacher's 91 wins, Hamilton was gifted one of his idol's helmets by his son Mick Schumacher. Hamilton delivered an emotional response when asked what the gesture meant to him. "I don't even know what to say," he said. "You know, when you grow up watching someone, you generally idolize them, not just for the quality of the driver they are, but for what they are able to do year after year, race after race, and week after week with their team. I remember playing Michael in a game called Grand Prix 2, I think it was. Just seeing his dominance for so long, I don't think anyone, and especially me, didn't imagine that I'd be anywhere near Michael in terms of records. So it's an incredible honor, and it's going to take some time to get used to it. However, as I came into the pit lane, that's only when I realized I had equaled. I hadn't even computed it once I crossed the line." Hamilton has also smashed the record for most pole positions and podium finishes, while he and Schumacher share the record for most World Drivers' Championships with 7. After equaling Michael Schumacher's record 7 Formula One championships, the hardest thing for Lewis Hamilton was to hold his emotions. His voice broke as he congratulated his team over the radio shortly after crossing the finish line at the Turkish Grand Prix while tears rolled underneath his helmet. "Dream the impossible. You have got to chase it and never give up," Hamilton said. "That's for all the kids out there who dream the impossible. You can do it." The British driver started from the 6th place, but still won a 4th consecutive race and 10th of another hugely dominant season. "I know I often say it is beyond wildest dreams, but my whole life secretly I have dreamt as high as this," said Hamilton. "It felt so far-fetched. I remember watching Michael win those world championships. To get 1 or 2 or even 3 is so hard. No driver has won the Formula One championship more times than Michael Schumacher and Lewis Hamilton. Last season, he had a chance to break the German's record, but he was unable to beat Max Verstappen after the Dutchman was given the opportunity to overtake his Mercedes opponent due to a late safety car period. The wounded Mercedes driver is reported to be waiting for the outcome of an FIA investigation into the race's conclusion before deciding whether or not to continue for the 2022 season. As the dust settles on the highly contentious Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, Hamilton may decide to take a lesson from Michael Schumacher's book and walk away from Mercedes and Formula One. The 37-year-old is rumored to be considering his retirement from the sport after losing faith in the FIA following the events at the Yas Marina circuit in December. The findings, however, are not expected to be released until just 2 days before the Bahrain Grand Prix in March, leaving Hamilton with a major decision to make over his participation. He might choose to make a big statement by refusing to commit to the sport in the form of a break before returning at a later date. In such a scenario, Hamilton would be following in the footsteps of fellow 7-time world champion Schumacher, who retired from F1 at the age of 37 in 2006. Between 2000 and 2004, the Mercurial German won every driver's championship before losing to Fernando Alonso over the next 2 seasons. He eventually decided to take a 4-year break before returning to the grid with Mercedes in 2010. Will Hamilton be following the same route as Michael Schumacher, or will he take it on the chin and decide to return for the 2022 season? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section. Also, if you're new to this channel, subscribe and click the notification bell to get notified when we upload more content. We will see you in the next one.